So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for episode number 8 of our FIFA 19 Arsenal modded career mode for the 2019-20 season. As you can see, we're in the month of January and we're hopefully going to be sweeping up January and its transfer window in this 8th episode. We've already been busy in it so far. As you can see, we are the top 2 of the top deals. David Luiz coming in from Chelsea for £11.5 million and Laurent Koscielny departing the club for Italian side Napoli for £9.3 million. And as you can see here is confirmation with David Luiz appearing before the media for the first time with an Arsenal shirt. He made his full debut last episode in a Carabao Cup semi-final against Everton, which we actually lost. So we're actually at a disadvantage going into the second leg, which you'll see at the end of the episode. Before that, we're playing Liverpool in the Premier League, which will be a difficult challenge, Watford in the Premier League, and around that as well, we've got West Ham, plus deadline day, in which we hopefully won't have to actually do that much. I mean, I've already got some signings lined up. You guys voted on the next player we're going to try and bring into the club. Now, I spoke about how it's really down to you guys as to what we do in this transfer window, and I gave you guys 2 votes last time. The first of which was to do with our Armenian winger, Henrik Mkhitaryan. If I can scroll down and find him, it was basically a decision as to whether we should be selling him or whether we should be keeping him on the books. I posed it to you in the form of a vote last time. You guys overwhelmingly said that we should sell him. 81% of you voting in favour for Henrik Mkhitaryan to be walked out of the door. So we're going to be putting him up for sale. But obviously with him leaving, it will leave us a bit thin on the ground in terms of depth. So I will want to try and replace him, as well as bring in that extra depth winger that we were talking about last episode. Now that brings us quite nicely on to the next part of this video, where it was up to you guys to decide our next signing. The choices were Leicester City's James Maddison, 78 overall, 23 years of age, a slightly more experienced Dimitri Payet from Marseille, Amadou Haidara of RB Leipzig, and also Bournemouth's David Brooks, 76 overall. Now, there was a poll on the top right of the screen in the last episode, and in the end, you guys chose Leicester City's James Maddison as the man you would like us to bring into the side next. As you can see, he's a very decent player, 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, high attacking work rate as well. Has proved to be a really good playmaker during the course of his time at Leicester City since joining from Norwich. He's one of Leicester's most valuable assets, but for now, it seems like we could bring him in for between £16.8 million and 21.7. The problem we have there is we don't actually have that in terms of a transfer budget. We've only got 16.7. Now after that, I do still want to try and bring in another player. David Brooks was someone who was very, very popular in the comment section, so we could potentially bring him in if we do sign Henrik Mkhitaryan as well. But before we get into any of that possible transfer activity, it is time for our first game, and it is probably the biggest of the episode in terms of difficulty. We are facing up against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium, another side vying for top 4 and therefore Champions League football, and it might be a final chance for Henrik Mkhitaryan to impress in a big game. Mohamed Salah warming up then. Hopefully he's not warming up during the course of the game. Hopefully we can keep him firmly cold, away from being on fire during the course of this football match. We're still firmly hot on the heels though of Manchester United in the table, still just 3 points behind them. They are honestly relentless. I have never been involved in a title fight on this channel quite like this one. Now, if we look through the starting 11 of this side, Mkhitaryan's been quite frustrating in recent episodes, but he is playing in today's game. Hopefully he can have a positive send-off. I cannot be bothered with him underperforming in this game. This now is Guendouzi, Pepe, lovely turn from him. Nicolas Pepe's worked the space. Mkhitaryan gets in the way, but it was deflected anyway. Oh, Mkhitaryan, listen. I've already said you need a positive send-off. Can we not do things like that? This, though, has fallen kindly to Alexander Lacazette, who's being chased down by both Matip and Gomez, which is an interesting one, because if they're both centre-backs, that means Virgil van Dijk isn't playing, which maybe has increased our odds of victory spectacularly in this game. 42 minutes of absolute nothingness. How is it 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool? This is notoriously a game with goals galore every year because neither side knows how to defend against each other. It's half-time. I'm pretty sure there has been one shot in this entire game. This game has genuinely been cataclysmic from start to finish so far. Aubameyang, though, then wins it from the throw-in. That's poor from Joe Gomez. Aubameyang then cuts it back. This is Alexander Lacazette. Well saved, though, by Alisson. We've finally had a chance, ladies and gents. Work the space. This is Jordan Henderson. Mane into Firmino. But Bernd Leno is able to not only save it, but catch it as well. You love to see it from him. I'm risking it for a biscuit. We've gone for the more attacking formation now. Salah wins the ball. This is Mane into Firmino. Back over to Salah. That's really well blocked, and Firmino can only get his head on it. That block was the crucial part, really, there of that defensive display. This is dangerous. Henderson on the ball, but again, Bernd Leno with the save. Liverpool starting to look a little bit threatening now. Just 4 minutes left of this game. There might be one more chance for either side here. Firmino's gone past David Luiz. Goes for the shot. Well saved. One-handed by Bernd Leno. One more counter. Maitland-Niles, Lacazette. This is Granit Xhaka. A bit of a heavy first touch, but he's managed to find Mkhitaryan. Out wide here is Nicolas Pepe. He's not got much in the middle. It's Nicolas Pepe all on his own into the side netting, and I think that might be the final chance of the game. That's the end of the game. It's a goalless, boring 0-0 draw. There was at least some action in the second half. Couple of chances and shots for either side, but neither team did enough going forward at all. We can't afford to be doing this when Manchester United pretty much win every single game they play. Granit Xhaka was your man of the match, 8 rating. Honestly, everyone was pretty nondescript. Pepe was really dangerous in the first half, then really wasteful in the second. Yet again, Manchester United kept that steam train going by beating Norwich 2-0. Now we've got a bid, finally, for Henrik Mkhitaryan. Juventus have come in for him, and we're ready to negotiate. They've offered £15.2 million. We're going to counter with 21.5. Juventus are only willing to bid 15.2 mil. Wowzers. Alright, propose a new transfer fee. Fam, I am not taking 15.2. You can get out of here. Why would I want a 3% sell-on clause? Maurizio Sarri's not having it. Game 2, Mkhitaryan's still about. He's not playing in this game though. Dani Ceballos is back in as a number 10. Ainsley Maitland-Niles in for the suspended Bayer in. Tierney in for Kolasinac, and Rob Holding also starts. It's actually currently January the 18th now, so we are approaching the end of this transfer window quicker than we might have expected. I said at the start of the episode we shouldn't really have any issues bringing in the players we need to, but obviously it is dependent on Mkhitaryan leaving the club. Lacazette is still the top scorer in the league, 15 goals for him, but he's being chased down by a couple of his Premier League counterparts now. So hopefully we can get him another goal in this game. We're underway. Now, I don't know if we've played Watford in this series so far. The toss-up really as to what game we were going to sim was between Watford and West Ham, but I remember the game we played against West Ham. It was at the London Stadium. Aubameyang scored a really nice goal, so I give them the benefit of the doubt. We're playing Watford instead. We are coming forward, and we've scored with Granit Xhaka. Meantime, inside 5 minutes, Xhaka keeps his good goal-scoring run coming. I really wish he had a better signature celebration than that, to be honest with you. Plays it into Xhaka. He cushions it into the far corner. Lacazette does well to get out of the way, actually. Ben Foster came close, couldn't keep it out, and it's 1-0. It's the start that we needed after a really poor attacking display against Liverpool. Great stuff from Granit Xhaka, who's really, as much as he is a little bit of a divisive player in real life for Arsenal in terms of his quality, has been so good in this series. You can rely on him and Guendouzi. To be honest, Torreira's going to find it difficult getting back into this starting 11. You know what I've got to say about Watford, right? Kit, terrible. Absolutely awful. Oh, love that from Granit Xhaka. Bit of dribbling ability from the big man, and it's set up a chance here. Nicolas Pepe is in acres of space. Illegal amounts of space, but he can't put it past Ben Foster. Xhaka back to Lacazette again. Nicolas Pepe's running through. He got a score this time, but it's saved again by Foster. Still going forward. This is Aubameyang, and that's the goal. The second goal we deserve this time. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang completes the move. Pepe really should have scored again, and his dry spell, I guess, continues. It was a good save from Foster, though, making himself big. Xhaka into Lacazette's first-time football, and a first-time finish from Aubameyang into the top corner. Aubameyang has left his personal dry spell well in the past. We've doubled our lead. It's 2-0. Now, that's given away by Zagadou. Zagadou. This is more danger here for Watford. It's Dani Ceballos. It's 3-0, and that surely could be game done already. 2 in 2 episodes now for the Spaniard. Alexander Lacazette setting it up, but Watford pressing self-destruct really. Zagadou then not tracing the mark of Dani Ceballos, so it's a double mistake from him. Ben Foster isn't saving that one. Ceballos even has time to really measure up his options before blasting it into the far corner. Corner gets swung in. They're dangerous from corners, but Bernd Leno's done really well to come and punch that one clear. He's so good in the air. He's just so good generally. Bernd Leno, although we are top of the table, our goal scorers and attackers have been so good. He is definitely a big highlight of this series as well in terms of performance. 3-0 up now. We're resting Dani Ceballos for the rest of this game, so he's fresh for our second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals against Everton. Emil Smith-Rowe, therefore, one of the youngsters, is getting a full 45 minutes. Mateta, Emil Smith-Rowe clipped over the top here. Nicolas Pepe flicks that one back. This is Emil Smith-Rowe off the inside of the post. Since coming on, he's been really, really bright as the young attacking mid, and he probably deserved a goal there. So close to getting what I think would be his first Premier League goal. He's obviously scored. Actually, has he scored in this series at all, Emil Smith-Rowe? I thought he'd scored in Europa League, but he might not have actually got a goal yet in this one. A quiet second 45 minutes. The scoreline stays as it was at half-time. 3 goals and 3 points for ourselves. Granit Xhaka makes it 2 from 2. He manages to pick up man of the match with a 9.5 rating. Ceballos and Lacazette also doing well, and Aubameyang with a 9.5 as well, going under the radar. Another offer has come in from Henrik Mkhitaryan. It's Monaco now inquiring about him. 15.7 mil, which I think is what Juventus asked for. We're going to delegate this time instead of negotiating. That might be a little bit more of a better technique. And we're going to start the offer at 19. Don't sell the player for any lower than 17. Now, though, what will prove to be the most important game of this episode. We may have played Liverpool, but we're facing their city rivals Everton in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals. We are 2-1 down on aggregate after a late winner from Michael Keane at Goodison Park. The comment section told me that away goals don't even matter, so the fact that we scored one doesn't really make a difference. We have got to win this game by 2 goals if we're going to go through in normal time. The next 90 minutes will decide which team will be playing in the Carabao Cup final. We don't know who they'll be facing as of yet. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is the player to watch out for. Apparently, he has been in good goal-scoring form going into this game. We'll need some more of that here. We need to score in this one, given we're 2-1 down after the first leg. So, honestly, the pressure is on, basically, and we could actually ease the pressure with an early goal. This is Alexander Lacazette. Oh, Ceballos gets in the way, and he's offside. Oh, no. Don't give the ball away there. Connolly into El Neni. Walcott, though, has his cross blocked. Kolasinac is tight to him. Walcott gets away. This is still Walcott. He's gone past Socrates. And a combination of Guendouzi and Leno have seen that go over the bar. Connolly can't believe what he's seen. Who has got the vital touch? It's Guendouzi. That looked like a certain goal. Guendouzi is the hero. Sigurdsson swings it in. It's a dangerous one, and Keane was there again. Aubameyang, this is Lacazette. Really nice ball again from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Overlapping run is Pepe, and he's given Pickford an opportunity to save. It's an all-right save from Jordan Pickford, but again, Nicolas Pepe's got to do better in that situation. Matteo Guendouzi played through. This is Alexander Lacazette. Plucked out of the air, though, by Jordan Pickford, who's already been pretty busy in this game so far. El Neni, that's into Connolly. Bernard, first time, well blocked by Xhaka. Leading by example again is the new captain after the loss of Koscielny. Ball in, dealt with by a combination of afros in David Luiz and Guendouzi. Sigurdsson into Connolly. Back to Sigurdsson again. Well won by Kolasinac. He's given that away, though, really badly. Sigurdsson with the finesse. Oh my goodness me. Kolasinac has done so well. He's messed up such an easy through ball out of defense, and we have been punished. It's not difficult to find Pepe there. You just got to put more angle on it. If you give Sigurdsson that sort of space, you're always going to pay for it. We've now got to score twice, or to even give ourselves a chance of going through. That would just send it to penalties. A goal late at the end of this first half would give us some very decent hope, to be fair. Then we'd just be back in the same position we were before. This is Nicolas Pepe looking to do that. If any time to break that duck would be, it's probably now. Nicolas Pepe has done just that. What a goal from the Ivorian. Pick up that ball, take it to the centre circle with 1 minute of the half to go. Nicolas Pepe just kept running and kept running. It's what he does, and he's fired it into the near post. What a goal. What a finish that is. On his left foot as well. He's put absolutely everything behind that and arrowed it into the top corner, and we have got that goal late in the first half. We're back to just needing one goal. That is the end of the first half. It's a dramatic final 10 minutes. Sigurdsson put some daylight between ourselves and Everton before an amazing goal from Nicolas Pepe made it level on the night, but Everton still have the advantage. They're one goal to the good. One more from us, though, and we send it to penalties. If we're going to get to this Carabao Cup final, Everton have really made us work for it. Fair play. Both of these ties have been such a challenge. Here's Connolly, who's been leading a line for Everton in both games, surprisingly. Everton trusting in the youth, as they usually do, and it's worked, because Connolly got the assist in the first game. Could have scored in this one as well, very easily. Here come Everton again, though, with Idrissa Gueye. That's into Connolly now. He's gone past his man, the ball into Bernard. And despite a last-ditch challenge from Bellerin, the Brazilian has got a second goal. It's 4-2 on aggregate now. This is really going to be difficult now. It's Connolly again. Goes past Socrates. The first time shot from Bernard. Bellerin is so close to getting there. That doesn't go in. That's probably a penalty, actually, and potentially a red card for Bellerin because it was definitely a foul. Ceballos there, out wide now into Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Crucial stuff. Great save from Pickford. That might be a tie-defining one from him. One-handed to deny that finesse that's worked so well for Aubameyang in a couple of instances in this series now. Just 25 minutes to go. A substitution is coming. Guendouzi's off for a fellow youngster. Bukayo Saka will replace him. KO, who was so vital in us even getting here in the first place with that last-minute goal against City. We need more heroics from him. Here he is on the ball. It's Bukayo Saka cutting inside. Oh, it's agonisingly wide. What an introduction that would have been. He's been on the pitch about 2 minutes. Bukayo Saka down the left-hand side, cutting in. Maybe should have scored there. He is a youngster. I will allow it. Aubameyang couldn't score from a similar position. Now Mohamed El Neni with a long shot. Well saved by Bern Leno. Can that be kept in? No, it can't by Kolasinac. Throwing absolutely everything at this now. This is Bukayo Saka. Ceballos. Aubameyang's running through. It'll go towards Lacazette, though. It's cleared away. That hasn't been won, and it's into Connolly and wide, thankfully, of the near post. Final introduction is yet another man who's been a late hero in this series. Jean-Philippe Mateta is now out on the pitch as well. I think this could be it, my lads. I think we're going to struggle to score however many we need to score now, especially with Connolly going forward, and again, Leno is saving. That is it. The end of the game has arrived. It was a really poor final 15 minutes from ourselves, and our Carabao Cup dreams are over. It is not going to be silverware at the first possible opportunity for ourselves. Everton will be in the League Cup final. Nicolas Pepe and Alexander Lacazette were our best players. But again, maybe going forward, we were lacking in some instances. Now, we've got issues here because Monaco were unwilling to sign Henrik Mkhitaryan for £19 million or even negotiate once that value was put down on the table, which I find very surprising. You know, in order to actually bring in these players, we've got to sell Henrik Mkhitaryan. The final game of this episode will be a simmed one. It's at home against West Ham. Obviously, we are coming off the back of disappointment, though, not reaching those Carabao Cup finals. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, though, gives us an early lead. He clearly hasn't got that miss against Everton playing on his mind. Kolasinac and Xhaka there with bookings. Ainsley Maitland-Niles with an injury, which is slightly concerning. He's playing over Bellerin in this one. He might be coming off early. Kolasinac gets himself a goal as well. He's scored quite a few times, actually, in Sims. He's doubled our lead, and that is how the game ends. It's a 2-0 win. It's not too much of a bad injury for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. A sprained knee, which means he's out for 7 days, so he'll miss the next Premier League game, but that is literally it. And on top of that, we've got another transfer offer for Henrik Mkhitaryan of £15.7 million. I mean, his value's gone down again. He's now 16, so maybe we've just got to cash in. Regardless, I'm just going to accept this from Burnley for Henrik Mkhitaryan because we clearly cannot negotiate for anything more. And would you look at that? It's deadline day. Of course it is. You knew at the start of the episode, as soon as I said, oh, it's fine, guys, we won't have to do anything on deadline day, that we were inevitably gonna have to do absolutely everything on deadline day. If you're looking for the top deals, Anthony Martial going from Manchester United to Juventus is the biggest so far. We've got Karim Benzema as well, signing for Tottenham. Koke's gone to Liverpool, and Antonio Rudiger has swapped Chelsea for Borussia Dortmund. Now, as you can see, Henrik Mkhitaryan has been sold to Burnley. Of all clubs for Henrik Mkhitaryan to go to, he's gone to Burnley. We've been given £13 million of that. We are going into negotiations for the man that won the the poll last episode. It seems so long ago, given we've played every game since then. But the 23-year-old from Leicester, whose current value is £16.5 million, is who we are offering for today. We're gonna just go with a straight transfer fee. I don't really have any players that I'm willing to swap at this point, to be fair. Leicester want 31. Oh, cut me some slack, lads. I can't even pay that for a start. New transfer fee again. We're going to go for 24.5? No, 23.5. Leicester are going to take some time. It's deadline day. We don't have time for you taking time, lads. Right, they've rejected it. They want £31 million. I am not paying this amount of money. He's just left. He was about to get on the train back to Leicester. I'm pulling you back into my office again, son. £24.5 million. Finally, we've agreed on a fee, which is way more than I was expecting to pay. So there you have it. The deal is done in essence. Maddison has accepted our contract offer. He'll be getting 55k in wages per week. He's a squad rotation player and he's on a 4-year contract. It's disappointing though, because that's not how I wanted this transfer window to go. I wanted us to be able to bring in 2 players, and I wanted to bring in Maddison and I wanted to bring in David Brooks as well. In hindsight, it was always going to be a bit of a difficult one, given they were both more expensive than Henrik Mkhitaryan in terms of valuation. I'm just annoyed we couldn't get more for Mkhitaryan. We should have been able to get at least 20 for him, and I'm annoyed we had to pay so much for James Maddison. But in the end, we are going to sign him. James Maddison is now an Arsenal player. He's technically our number 7. He will not be the number 7. That's not happening. I'm sorry. There, though, is James Maddison in front of the press for the first time holding his number 7 shirt. Maybe he could keep the number 7. It doesn't, to be fair, it's not that bad. It doesn't look that weird, but after signing for £25.5 million, lads, I'll be honest, I'm sorry to disappoint. I think this might be all we get done. There you have it, folks. It's just 1 in and 1 out in the end. Mkhitaryan goes to Burnley, and we bring in James Maddison. £292.5 million spent on deadline day in total, and £25.5 million of that was us. And it was spent on this man, James Maddison, who's already providing value for money by going up by 1 overall to 79. Though for some reason that's seen his valuation go down by 16%. Why couldn't it have been £11 million when we bought him? If you wanted to see his attributes as well, here you go. He's 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, high attacking work rate, 88 agility, 82 vision, which has gone up by 1, 84 on ball control, 81 free kick accuracy, and then 82 on short passing and shot power. Got good curve, dribbling, crossing, long passing, long shots, penalties, and finishing is alright as well, not to mention his pace isn't too bad. Now that we've come to the end of proceedings, here is how the table is looking. Manchester United have slipped up somewhere, 63 points now. They've had 3 losses across the course of the season. They are only 2 points clear of us now, so despite dropping points against Liverpool and going out of the Carabao Cup at the semi-final stage, the positive is we managed to bring down the lead at the top of the table. Manchester United, they're only 2 points clear, though we are only 2 points clear of Spurs. This is firmly a 3-horse race now. Would you believe it? The next game, the start of the next episode, is going to be against Bournemouth, the side that we wanted to buy David Brooks from, but we didn't have the funds. Arsenal not having the money to bring in a player. Where have I heard that before? But that is going to wrap up today's episode. One that could have been a whole lot more. We could have reached the final of a cup competition. We could have brought in an extra player, but unfortunately, it doesn't always go your own way. Nevertheless, if you have enjoyed this episode of the Arsenal Career Mode here on FIFA 19, then slap a like on it and subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It's at the official FNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Me